Now the rest of the story. Peggy would never forget September 19, 1907. It was then that her mother, Mabel, enrolled her in the Forest Avenue Elementary School in Atlanta. That morning, on the first day of the first grade, was not a happy day. Peggy was upset by what she perceived as an unnecessary change in her life. She threw a tantrum, declaring that she would not go to school. Through tears, she exclaimed that she would stay with her mother and that things would always be as they had always been. But this is the rest of the story. Mother Mabel did not say a word. Instead, she went outside, hitched up the horse and buggy, and took her daughter for a ride. Their destination was a rundown section of town, a once grand and dignified neighborhood called Jonesboro. As the two drove along, Mabel pointed to the proud old homes of yesterday that now lay in ruins. "Look over there," Mother said. Fine, wealthy families used to live in those houses, yet the gardens that had once exploded with color were now choked with weeds, just as the glorious bygone days of Jonesboro had been suffocated by a grim and unpredictable future. What happened to everybody? Little Peggy wanted to know. Mabel pulled back on the reins and the buggy stopped. "It's very simple," she explained, looking deep into her young daughter's eyes. "Before the war between the states, the young women who lived in Jonesboro were content to be charming and social, but they embroidered their lives away. After the war deprived them of their means, they had nothing left to rely on. They had no skills, no education." Mabel continued, "Should your own world explode someday, a new world would replace it. But when everyone loses everything, everyone is equal, except for what each person possesses inside his own brain." Little Peggy listened and understood. If she did not go to school, she would end up like the unfortunate inhabitants of Jonesboro, wasting away and depending upon the kindness of strangers. Peggy never forgot that hot September day. One day she wrote about it, not precisely as it happened, but she patterned a character in a novel, in part after her own mother. That character said the things her mother had said. You never knew until right now, but the person in the book is, more than anyone who ever lived, like Peggy's mother, Mabel Mitchell. Of course you know Peggy's masterpiece, Margaret Mitchell's American classic, Gone with the Wind. And if you are sufficiently familiar with the dialogue therein, you may have recognized Mabel's long-ago admonition as words straight from the mouth of not Scarlett O'Hara but Rhett Butler. Margaret Mitchell immortalized her mother's strength, independence, and common sense, even her mother's own words, in a fictional character the whole world came to love and admire. And now you know the rest of the story.